Illegals with suspected terrorist ties caught at the border. A new report obtained by the Houston Chronicle claims a member of the deadly Al-Shabaab terror group in Somalia was nabbed trying to sneak into the U.S. last summer, and fears others may have made it through too. More proof we need to secure our border, and right away. Hi, everyone. I'm Brenda Butner. This is Bulls and Bears. Here they are, the Bulls and Bears this week. Gary B. Smith, Melissa Francis, Jonas Max Ferris, John Layfield, along with Nomi Konst. Welcome to everybody. Okay, John, if this won't get Washington into securing the border, what will?
I'm not sure anything will, as much as it exasperates everybody, but every president since Reagan has said they are going to secure the border, including President Obama. None have done so. Look, the time to deal with lung cancer is when you first start smoking, not after it's been detected. By that time, it's too late. We have had rumors of ISIS coming across that southern border, and you can't compare this to the northern border. You can't go across the Texas border into Mexico and Reynosa and Matamoros, Nuevo Laredo. It's not safe. It's being run by criminal organizations. These criminal organizations will sneak whatever they are paid to get into this country. We need to do this not because of illegal immigration. That is a complete separate issue, but simply for the safety of our own country. Take our army. Mexico secures its southern border with its own army. Take our army that's securing the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. Put it on our own border. We already pay these guys. We have the best border guards in the world. We just have to use them.
They are terrific, but there was an estimate that it would take 76,000 troops to secure the border. In any case, Gary B., it's a hefty price tag. Is it worth it?
I don't think so. Look, if we're talking about securing the border as some kind of big fence, it's just not going to work. I mean, the East Berlin tried that, and they had thousands of people go over the wall. And they were taking hot air balloons, they were taking zip lines, they were running cars under the fences there. They were doing everything. And by the way, that was really only the border between East Berlin and West Berlin. That was only 30 miles. I mean, that cost them alone probably $3 million to build. We have 2,000 miles on the Mexico-U.S. border. That would take probably at least $1 trillion just to build the wall and then secure it, as you talk about, 76,000 troops. And then, what are we doing? Then we're saying, okay, well then come in through the coastlines, come in through Canada. I do think we need intelligence, obviously. We need to fight aggression. But building a wall, if that's securing the border, I just think we can't cost justify it.
But Melissa, the terrorists are here, and here we are talking dollars and cents. Is this more about security, and is it worth it?
I think this is absolutely one thing it makes sense to spend money on. I heard Ambassador Bolton talking about it today, that ISIS is probably already here, almost certainly. I mean, I think this is the real issue with our borders. It's not about illegal immigration, so to speak, when we're talking about people who want to come to this country and work. I'm an economist by trading. More labor in general is good, but we're talking about terror. ISIS and Al-Qaeda, our borders are porous, and this is where the danger is coming from. It's not about building a big wall. It's about securing what we already have and having some intelligence on the ground. We're not doing it right now.
We're not doing it, Nomi, and that's causing some problems. I mean, we've got terrorists now in the U.S. We probably already did, but now they're coming in.
Mm-hmm. I think that what we have to look at is what's the root problem here. Obviously a wall is not going to fix this problem with ISIS. This is a sophisticated network of individuals who are investing heavily in finding ways to infiltrate the United States, whether it's homegrown terrorism by training Americans and bringing them overseas and bringing them back. Like, a wall is not going to protect us from our own homegrown terrorists. And investing more in Border Patrol is really not going to. It's not going to protect us as much as we think it is. Is it going to protect us against illegal immigration? Maybe. Is it going to protect us against cartels? Possibly. But terrorism is a very different issue, and if we want to be smart, we have to invest in policy changes. We have to attack the root causes, and maybe it's even more sophisticated technology like, droning. Like, we already have drones going over the border on a daily basis, and are the drones catching these people from walking over the border?
Okay, John, what do you think about all this? You're getting some opposition here from the group.
Yeah, and I don't care about root causes. I don't care why a guy wants to sneak across the border with a dirty bomb. I don't care what his problem is. I don't care if he has a mama issue. I really want him dead. I think that's what's safe for America. I don't want him to have a job. I don't think that does anything. And we're not talking about a wall. I don't know why we have a huge base in Kentucky. I guess they're scared about Virginia invading the Bluegrass State for some reason. Move that base down to the border. We've already got 76,000 border guards. They're called the armed forces that we have there, and they're really good at what they do. Put them down there. It rejuvenates the local communities, the local cities. It also gives us plenty. We're not talking about a wall. We're talking about technology. We're talking about stopping guys from coming into this country that want to do us harm.
And Gary B., is that basically what you're talking about?
Yes. If we're talking about the use of technology, as Nomi said, the drones, I think that's a good idea. I do agree with John. I don't think we're really interested in policy changes and getting to the root cause. Look, they hate us. They want to hurt the United States of America. We need to stop them in their tracks. So in that respect, John and I are on the exact same page.
Melissa, what do you think?
No, I mean, I think it's absolutely true. I think this is the growing threat within our country is people who come back in and want to kill us from within. And this is what we have to be looking out for. I think that the idea of immigration coming in from Mexico, folks that want to come to this country and become citizens and work, is a totally separate issue that also needs to be addressed, but on a separate level.
Jonas?
I don't know. I think we got to be really careful about this intelligence over ISIS. Just a few weeks ago with they're selling kidneys for money. Now they're kind of appearing in Texas. You know, I could just easily say that state's trying to get even more Homeland Security money. You know, we've had a whole fiasco over the last few decade plus now where these states are living off this handout to fight terrorism, buying boats in Virginia, places where they don't even have terrorists. So first of all, they would be careful about just giving a state who finds a reason why they need the money. Second of all, this is a federal issue and federal borders, and it's not a state problem, really. And if we're going to be serious about this, it's not going to happen in Texas. It's going to be that people are going to need, say, federal ID in America, period, to do anything, and you have to have it, and then they can track people in America. It's going to take things like phasing out currency, so you can't have this hidden money that you have. So it's going to be more than fighting at the border of Texas with militant guys and a board. That's not going to do anything to stop ISIS from going through America and moving money around and planning an attack. So if we're going to do
but a federal ID does
make
nothing, Jonas, but stop illegal immigration. It does not stop ISIS. These guys don't have IDs anyway.
If you have to have federal ID to board a plane, to board a train, and go into a city, you don't.
A complete separate issue, Jonas. Complete separate issue from what we're talking about ISIS.
This is a game of whack-a-mole here. You know, if they're not going to walk over the border, they're going to pop up on a plane as U.S. citizens. How are we going to protect the U.S. citizens from coming over? We have to be smart about this. I mean, this is our intelligence. It is a federal issue. Our intelligence agencies need to be working hyper alert. We need to be funding them more. We need to be funding Homeland Security more. I mean, there are many different avenues here. It's not like we attack them in one area alone.
We've been throwing a lot of resources at this, John, and they're coming in.
Yeah, they're still coming in. It's because we have not secured that border. And this is not an either or. Nomi is right about that. But to put them on hyper alert, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I hope they're already on that. They need the tools to fight this. And we need a way to be able to shut down that southern border specifically because of the criminal enterprises there. But this is not an either or. This is not to do something about the ports and the airports. That is a separate issue. We don't have a border issue. Look, if you come from Cuba and you get on American soil, you're able to stay here. But if you come from Mexico and get on American soil, you get thrown back. We don't have a comprehensive foreign policy on our border because of politics.
Well, maybe not. Not right now. They're not being thrown back exactly. Last word to Melissa?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's the next most logical way for terrorists to enter the country is to come over the southern border. I mean, I think the airports were the first most obvious, and we're doing what we can to the best of our ability to tackle that through the TSA and through everything else that we have in the airways. But this is I mean, whether you're watching movies in Hollywood or you're reading books or you're looking at actual evidence, this is the next most logical way for us to get attacked, and we need to stand up and pay attention to it.
Okay, last word. Thanks, guys.